What's up guys, Belamy Prime here, and today I'll be bringing you my 5 quick tips regarding Hiram gear in ArcheAge. Now, for those of you who don't know, Hiram gear is essentially the second best gear available in ArcheAge right now, and is very free-to-play friendly. It was introduced to the game in an attempt to close the gap between free-to-play and pay-to-win players, and since its introduction, it's changed the meta of the game quite dramatically. Every single piece of Hiram gear can be acquired quite easily by killing Abyssal Legion mobs in the majority of the Southern Aurorian zones, and although what pieces will drop for you and the stats that will come on them are based on RNG, if you know what you're doing, getting the right Hiram pieces with the right rolls for your build is very simple. So today I'll be counting down my 5 super quick tips that you should follow when you're beginning or struggling with your Hiram grind. My first tip, level your Larceny. A lot of people tend to struggle when leveling their Hiram gear because of the intense labor requirements. Everything you do with Hiram, whether it's opening infusions, feeding them, making scrolls, awakening your pieces, will cost labor. Having a high Larceny proficiency will help a lot with this and will reduce the labor costs for identifying your infusions dramatically. For me personally, I have max Larceny, so opening any infusion costs almost half the amount of labor for me, so I can open a lot more. This means that you'll be able to open a lot more infusions per day and progress a lot faster. Our next tip today is to join daily raids. This tip goes out to any players starting out or players who are strapped for time and aren't able to go out and complete their Hiram quest rotations solo every single day. Every day you'll most likely see your faction creating a daily reset raid prior to the daily reset. The daily reset is at 5 PM Pacific Daylight Time or 10 AM Australian Eastern Standard Time for me, but be sure to keep an eye out on your nation chat leading up to this for the raids forming. Joining these raids will help you a lot for completing your Hiram quests super fast, as you can follow the raid around and complete all your daily quests in a fraction of the time. Our next tip is do not use serendipity stones on your Hiram gear. I've seen a lot of players make this mistake, and it's just extremely wasteful to be using them on your Hiram gear. Now for all of you players out there who don't know what a serendipity stone is, a serendipity stone can be acquired through a number of methods, whether it's honor, loyalty, the cash shop, or the auction house, and can be used to provide a single stat reroll for a piece of your gear. You should never waste serendipity stones on Hiram gear no matter what. If your Hiram piece does not have the perfect rolls for your build by the Celestial grade in Tier 1, feed that item back into a fresh piece of Hiram gear and start again. Be patient and you will have the right rolls eventually. Don't go wasting your resources on getting the right rolls any other way. Our next tip is, if possible, temper and gem your gear early. Now, when I say temper and gem your gear early, do not go tempering your Hiram pieces or gemming them until they have the perfect stats and you're certain you want to keep them. However, once you have the right pieces with the perfect rolls, temper it and gem it as soon as possible. This is because the straight up gold cost for tempering and gemming your items will scale with the tier and grade of the Hiram piece. This means that if you temper and gem the pieces early, you'll save gold in the long run. My final tip for today is try to mix things up. Don't go full Hiram. Now, I know I said at the start of the video that Hiram is basically the second best gear in ArcheAge right now, but in most cases, no matter what class you're playing, there will be off pieces that are very strong to mix in with your Hiram setup. For most classes, there are certain slots that have pieces that are just better than their Hiram counterparts, and since Hiram has no set bonuses, it's very good to mix and match your setups with other gear from other sources. These items include pieces like the Dark Warrior Guards for melees, Cruel Glory Sash or Shadow Warrior's Shadows for healers or mages, or the Dahuda Cap, which is a nice piece for archers and melees. All of these can be acquired through dungeons, and not only this, but you'll see a lot of players incorporating 3 or more pieces of Disciples gear into their setup, which are also from dungeons. This is not only because these pieces are actually very strong, but also because diversifying your setup means you won't have to farm Hiram gear for the rest of your life. If you aim to go full Hiram, you'll have a very long grind in front of you for all the 10 plus pieces of Hiram gear you'll need to farm. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed my list and it helps when you get down to your Hiram grind. For those of you who may have some follow-up questions or even some completely unrelated questions that you might want answered, feel free to join my Discord. I'll leave a link in the description. But as always, like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.